Let me ask you something. As a young Nigerian, do you actually know your rights? What to do, what not to do? Probably online, probably not online, legally and illegal. Because there's nothing like I don't know. So that's why we are here today. In today's episode in Beyond the Frame, we want to talk about legal things with a professional that know what we need to know before you do something that you will regret with your life. Even
Uh-huh.
your generation can pay for it. And this is serious. This is serious. Welcome to Beyond the Frame. Here with me, I have my friend here. We have been friends for 14 years now. Wow. We have been friends for 14 years now. After IGMB, JAM, WAEC, and all like that. So he's a lawyer, professional lawyer, and I am glad to have him on the show today to enlighten us, give us insights about youth as far as Nigerians is concerned, and we want to know, especially Gen Zs, yes, especially Gen Zs, to know what and what not to do as a person. So please help me to welcome Mr. Sorry, Lawyer Tulu
There's nothing like
in the
that.
building. Please introduce yourself to us fully.
All right. My name is Tolu Lope Adewi. I'm a lawyer,
Okay,
like you rightly said, and I've been practicing for I think 7 years now.
7 years. Wow, wow, wow. This is also welcome to the show,
Thank you very
and
much.
I hope you will help us to enlighten youth out there and our fans all over the round, all over Nigeria to know what and what not to do. My first question is: what is common things Nigeria usually doing, especially youth Nigeria, that they are doing every day that is illegal?
Okay, so I will limit that question to business people.
Okay.
So take for instance now, you are a business person yourself,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
one common thing you do or business people do that is illegal and they don't know is they would provide a service or want to render a service to someone and they will tell the person there's no refund policy.
Yes.
So when you are selling something, maybe goods, and you are marketing it to somebody and you're telling that person that there's no refund policy, that in itself is an illegal act because
Wow.
under the FCCPC law act, sorry, um, you are not supposed to state that when you are rendering a service that there's no refund policy. So in instances where there's a defect or what I order versus what
That's
I
what I
got,
got.
in those instances, that person has a right to get his full money back.
Okay.
Right. The only instance where you can say that no refund policy will work is if what you ordered is actually what you got, or if there's if there's a defect there, you're also telling that person that this is the exact state or condition that goods is, and that person accepted it. So in those instances, that no refund policy will apply. But generally, when you are rendering a service to someone, you cannot be marketing that goods and say that there is no refund policy.
Okay. What? Okay. I actually see some people, especially in media industry, photography, videography, on their page. They will write it on that page that no refund. So in case you book shoot with them, you book a section with them. They say so. It's an illegal act
Yes, it's
to
an
see that.
illegal act. The only thing such a photographer is entitled to is maybe cancellation fee. You can attach a cancellation fee, maybe like
Wow.
5% or 2% of the original fee you're charging. That one is allowed in law. But saying that because that person has booked for your service and the person decided that, okay, I'm no longer doing, give me back my money, you're now saying there's no refund policy. You can be penalized for that by the FCCP. That means
Someone can get
Federal Consumer Protection Agency can penalize you for that.
Wow.
Or the person can also involve the police. And if police wants, although it's a civil matter, police can become funny. But normally, you don't have a right to hold on to that person's money since the person says it's no longer doing. The only thing you have a right to do is to accept or to deduct your cancellation fee, which is normally 5% or 2%
Wow.
of that amount.
Wow. Have you seen real case like this before?
Yes, there was even an instance of, okay, my colleague is also a lawyer as well. I think his brother ordered I think a shoe from a lawyering here, The other brother wanted to use it for his birthday in Lagos. I think the
Okay.
shoe was around 50 something thousand naira. So the shoemaker was like, he was supposed to send that shoe from Ilorin to Lagos.
Lagos.
And I think during the delivery, my friend's brother did not receive that goods. Right.
Wow.
Even though it's not the seller's fault,
Okay.
in that instance as well, you have to refund the money. And when my friend reached out to him, like, Alpha, what's up? We did not receive that shoe.
Shoe.
What are we going to do? The guy was like, there's no refund policy. The guy just have to bear his loss. Like he on his own part has sent it to Lagos. All right. And he also sent the number of the driver to him. But that's not enough. As far as that
But it's
person has,
actually the driver's mistakes now,
yeah,
or
so
error.
it's only when that person has received it and he has checked it and is satisfied with it, that's when that no refund policy will apply.
Can
But
wow.
in an instance where it's still on what's it called transit,
Yes.
do you understand? You cannot now come and say I cannot collect my money back because I've not received what I paid for.
Hmm.
So you have a responsibility to ensure that that
It
goods
gets where it
leave
goes.
exactly.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Let's talk about social media. What can we post online that can get us in trouble?
So, what you can post online that can get you into trouble is when you post defamatory statements, like you lie against someone,
Okay.
that any reasonable person will believe that, this person has a bad reputation because of what I just saw here, and will not
Mm.
want to associate with that person. That thing can actually lead you into trouble because there's something called criminal defamation in law,
Okay.
right?
Yes, that's what I want to
And
ask. What is the meaning of
okay,
defamation? Simple
so
term, please.
okay, in simple terms, defamation means that when you say when you post something online or you say something, because defamation are of two types: there's slander and there's
Okay.
libel. Libel is written, slander is oral,
Oh.
right? So if you say something oral, let's say um, I'm talking to you now, I say this person has infected 30 people with HIV/AIDS,
Hmm.
and any reasonable person around
The
that
person.
place at that time believes that
It's true.
this person has HIV, and they start spreading it around, right?
Mm.
That is criminal, even though it's an oral statement that was made. People have heard it and they decide to spread it around,
Mm. Oh.
thereby causing disrepute to you, and people believing that you have a bad reputation, people should not even get close to you, people should not do business with you, and all of that. Written is when you post online, like on Twitter, Facebook, and the rest of the same thing. This person has had sex with 30 people and has infected them with HIV and AIDS. In those instances, too, people will believe. And for online post publications, it goes beyond that state.
Yeah.
People in Asaba, people in Akwa Ibom,
Everybody.
exactly. So that is why I think in 2020 or 2021 they had to create a law so that to stop all these habits by people, because there's something they do online, X especially, because X give people money, so they always try to post things, false things against all these celebrities that will gain traction and give them more money. So the law is there to actually prevent people from doing such acts. And when they still disobey the law, that's where the police comes in and they immediately take into action and take them to court. And when the complainant, that's the person that was defamed, can prove that this person defamed me, and this person heard of it, this person heard of it, this person heard of it, and they've spread it, and even people that don't know me now believe that I have HIV and AIDS, then that person will be convicted. That person will be convicted.
So the person will be probably go to jail or pay fine.
So the person would most likely go to jail, or there are instances where you can pay fine as well. But for most parts, you would go to jail
Wow.
because it's a serious offense.
Wow.
It's a serious offense.
Wow. 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 Wow.
But it's not. It's just beyond. It's just like a little 1 to 5 years. It's not much.
You said
Just
1 to 5 years.
now.
You go and eat free
Free
what?
food.
Free food in
And
prison.
wear free uniform. You can even go to university there now. They have a university in the prisons.
So you increase in knowledge in prison.
Exactly.
That one is deep. Very, very deep. Okay. What is if I insult someone online, what can happen to that?
Well, insult is normal now. I can insult anybody. The only thing you can do is get angry. There is no
Law that is
there is
available.
no crime attached to it. right? But again, if such statements leads to provocation,
Provocation. Okay.
and maybe that person now decides to act and slap you, slapping, you're not even, somebody's not allowed to slap you.
No, no,
That's
online. Oh,
okay, online.
yes.
And that it's just, there's no crime. There's no crime on
Exchanging
that.
words,
Yeah,
banters, and all like that.
it's just insult.
Oh,
But insult is basically different from
yes.
defamatory
Defamation.
statements.
Yes.
Exactly. It's just
Okay.
insult. There's no crime to that.
What about posting someone's pictures or content without the person's consent?
That is so there's no direct law on that, even though the Nigerian Data Protection Act, the what's it called, and some of our other laws to insist that you have to get permission before you post someone's content online. But generally speaking, the normal custom is for you to get approval. Try
From
when
the
it comes
owner.
to exactly. So if it's someone's content, like maybe my picture,
Okay.
right? You are trying to post my picture online without my approval, and you want to exploit it for commercial purpose, you have to get my consent, because you cannot post such a thing without getting approval from me. I can sue you for that.
Okay.
You understand? But if it's just mere writing, okay, I post, thank God it's Friday, and I'm the one that started the whole trend, and a few people too have also posted it, but they got it from me. There's no exact
What about,
offense to
we
that.
have issue with online with VDM and Billboard.
Trademark, right?
Yes.
So trademark is a very interesting issue. So let's take for example that thank God is Friday, that analogy I just spoke now. If it's not trademarked, anybody can use it and say, it's common. People outside, everybody in the public are using that same word.
Okay.
So you cannot say that you are the one that started it. But instances where you trademark that name under the classes we have under the Trademark Act, you cannot come back and say, every is a general, people use it generally in public, so I can use it. You have to get consent from me that registered it under the Trademark Act. So if you want to trademark, let's say Mascodi now, if you've not trademarked your name before, you have to go online and trademark it, so as to prevent what's it called, a third party from using your name, because it's not enough for you to have like a CAC registration.
Okay.
If you're looking at yourself as a global brand and you want to go beyond the shores of Ilorin, Lagos, or Nigeria, it's always important for you to have like trademark, both international and local. And what that means is that you trademark your name, trademark your logo, trademark your design, and get approval from the Minister of Trade and Investment, right? Get your certificate.
So what you are saying literally now is CAC registration alone is not enough for
But
a
it's not enough.
business.
It's not enough for a business. A business that have unique logo, unique name, unique design attached to it, and you're looking at yourself like, okay, someone may exploit it. Like Item 7 now. I think there was a business brand that sells food too that tried to, what's it called, use their design or logo in Anambra. And I think they had to write to that organization to, or business brand, to take it down, right? So these are the reasons why people trademark. Because if Item 7 had not trademarked their name or logo,
They can't do that.
they won't have the right
Mm.
to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what the advantage you have when you trademark your name or logo or design.
Okay. Okay. That means after you register, if you have future for your business, you got to trademark your
You have
logo,
trademark it.
your
But it's
slang,
a bit
your
expensive, but
yeah,
you can do it. I think under the law now, do you have it costs like 34,000 naira
34,000. It's not really
per
expensive,
class.
Per what?
Per class, and you have
Okay.
like,
For example, let's say, okay, my name is Mascotech,
okay,
the Creative Empire Limited, and I have slogans. So I need to trademark the Mascotech Creative Empire and the slogans separately,
yes,
or both together.
okay, slogan.
Yes.
You have to trademark them separately, but there's a way we can register, do the registration that it will fit into
Okay.
together.
As one.
Yeah.
So we are going to segment of police and your rights now.
Okay.
So let's get practical on this one. If police uh, officer stop someone on the road, a young Nigerian on the road, what should they do immediately? First, what should they say or not say if police stop you on the road? Now is common any area. If they see young Nigerian dress well, driving a nice car, they will virtually stop you.
Yeah.
So what can they say or not say immediately?
So normally, when the police, they have a right, if they suspect, um, maybe there's an apprehension of fear that okay, this person is going to commit a crime or has committed that crime, they have that belief that that person has committed that crime. Police can generally stop a Nigerian to ask questions and to investigate. They have that power to investigate, right? But as a Nigerian, when you are stopped by the police, normally if you are driving a car, they will ask you for your papers. You can show them your papers. If they ask you to open your boot, you can open the boot for them. But what you should not do is to open your phone,
Okay, they
because
don't have right on the phone.
they don't have a right over your phone. Even the Inspector General of Police, I think that was like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks, during one of his, was one of his, I think his inaugural speech, said that the police officers don't have a right to check any Nigerian's phone. That's a violation of their privacy.
But they are doing it.
That's a violation of their privacy. That means, as a Nigerian, your right is protected under the law,
Okay.
constitutional rights,
Hmm.
right to privacy. If a police officer searches your phone, that's a breach of that right. What the police officer can do is that check your papers, check inside your car to be sure that you're not um, committing any offense. And if he is sure that you're not committing an offense, he has to leave you to be on your way.
Yeah, I have this practical example. Is it example of what I saw in my office, downstairs in my office, and I saw this muscle car driving by a young Nigerian, and they're looking cool and cool, and police stop them with guns and all like that, and they're like, "Park! What do you mean? Blah blah." You know how they are usually talk their things, and the next thing, if you find boy now, you got to do normal for us and all like that. And I was like, the guy was like, "Do normal," as in my paper is complete. If you don't check your paper, do normal. And later the guy was like, "Okay, so sorry, sir, I don't have much." Like he gave them 2,000 naira. They refuse bluntly, and later they they see them through one corner like that beside my office. I am looking at them upstairs, downstairs. I'm looking at them like that, and they asked these guys to go to POS and collect cash 50K to go and give it to them. If not, they will not go. The next thing, what I'm saying is here, is here. This reality is here. And the next thing, one of the police officers cocked the gun here. So we, the neighbors and all like that, we don't know the guy. We are just it is well. In that situation, they later gave them, I think, 35,000 naira before they release those guys. Now, what are the rights of those guys? That's one question. The second question, as a neighborhood or as a community, or that you saw that, what can you do that won't put you in danger as a Nigerian?
So normally, when instances like that, right, I always advise my clients, if they're in instances like that, they call me that alpha, these police officers are harassing me, they are insisting that they collect money from me before they leave me. I always tell them that just give them the money. How much are they asking for? Give it to them. But I advise them that they should mark the faces
Okay.
and mark the name. They always have a name tag.
Yes, at the back. Yeah.
Right. Why I say that is because I'll give a typical example of what happened. I think 2022 or 2023. A client of mine, I think he was going from Oshogbo to Ibadan, and he was stopped by the police. Right. They saw him, like you said, a young guy driving a car and all of that, and they felt um, they can exploit him. They collected 100,000 naira from him. But his saving grace was that he knew the name tag and the faces of those officers.
Yeah.
So what I did was that I wrote to the Police Service Complaints Commission,
Okay.
right? So
Diarrhea.
No, not the area, national,
National.
Abuja.
Okay.
So right, they are the ones that discipline police officers in for issues like this. So immediately I wrote to them, and they responded, and they told me that I should give them within 7 working days that they will get to the root of the matter. And they called the commissioner of police of Osun State, and the commissioner of police invited those police officers to his office. And the next thing was that they called us, and those police officers were sanctioned. They were demoted actually,
Oh.
and they returned our money. Right. So what I always advise Nigerians to do, just mark the faces, and if you can do a video of those officers, do a video coverage of those officers, attach it to the letter you send to
Your
the
lawyer.
police
Okay.
service,
Police service.
disciplinary committee of the police service commission, right? Attach it there. I'm telling you, one, I know for a fact that they actually attend to cases like this, and those officers will be demoted. You will see them; they will be begging you that you should not take it beyond that level. That you should. They will even tell you that you should withdraw the
Mm.
petition because they know the effect it will have on them.
Mm.
So, but most young Nigerians don't know that the police itself, they have a disciplinary committee that attend to issues like this.
Okay. 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 All right. What are your rights as a young Nigerian when they arrest you?
So when they arrest you, one of the rights you have is the popular one, right to remain silent. You can
Okay.
decide not to say anything, right?
And
And
be
say
waiting
that
for
you
your
want
lawyer.
to exactly. And you just call your lawyer, they will give you the access. Then secondly is right to know why you're arrested.
Okay.
You have a right to ask any police officer that stops you or say yeah, is arresting you. Why are you arresting me? Right.
Okay. Okay.
So you have that right to ask those
You
questions.
remain silent. You
Right to
tell
remain
them
silent.
you are waiting for your lawyer to come.
Yes,
I saw one
exactly.
thing online that one influencer says that should in case you have your girlfriend coming to visit you and all of a sudden she passed on. So what you can say is just immediately call your lawyer, call the police and report yourself, and call your lawyer immediately. When the police get to your house, just be saying that you just pass on. Full stop. No matter what they say,
Exactly.
she
Because
pass on.
anything else you say
They
may
can use it
implicate you.
against you.
Implicate you. Because you never know what you say that may be very detrimental. You
And put you in
understand?
trouble.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
We want to move to money and business.
Okay.
Mistakes that young Nigerians usually do now, as far as the business is concerned. A lot of Nigerians are doing that mistake now with business. So, is it safe to do business without a written agreement?
No, I won't advise anybody to do business without a written agreement. And the reason why I say this is because you never can, the only thing you can tell is the beginning of that business. You don't know how it will end. You understand? And so as to prevent disputes, always state it clearly. Okay, well, this is how we are going to do this business. Okay, I'm going to take 50%, you're going to take 40%, and we'll use 10% to manage the business. It should be clearly stated. Because when money start coming, between brothers, if one is not sincere, there will always be
There'll be a
fights.
problem.
But when it's clearly stated, just in case there's a fight and you people need to go to court, at least there's something to hold on to say, this is what we agreed on. Or he said I'm going to take 50%, he's going to take 40%, 10% will be for managing of the business. But if there is no written agreement, what you'll be going to court to say is this is what we agreed, and he denies it.
What is the evidence?
What's the
What is the
evidence?
evidence? There's nothing like
The
that.
only exception is if okay, there's a paper trail for the money. Okay,
Okay.
this is how much is coming in, this is how much is going out, this is how much is getting, this is how much I'm getting. But
That is if
then
they are transparent.
exactly. But to avoid all that, always have a written agreement.
That's the
Always
safer side. The safer side.
is the best. Is the best.
The trust is not enough.
Trust is not enough
Jot it
because
down.
it's not even sufficient at all.
Mm,
It's not sufficient.
mm. Okay, okay. Advise me in these issues, or let me say situations. I get an apartment. The apartment burns down, and I get the apartment. I make an agreement with the landlord that I will fix it. I love the location. And I want to take over the apartment. And the landlord says, if you go ahead and do it, no problem. You will use your money you spend on the building to you will spread it on your probably years to
The
come or something
next,
like that. So for you to be able to use the house with that money instead of landlord refunding you or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's no maybe a paper agreement like that. So after a year, there's time for renewing the apartment, and the landlord keep asking. So I now went to the landlord that, Shebi sir, you said this. They're like, if I said it, truly, truly, I supposed to have written agreement with you. And before that, I told my landlord that, can we have written agreement for these things? The man said, because of how much? That's what he said. And I speak with people around like, this is what his man says. Like, it's a matter of integrity, Jerry. Don't worry. How much is your you can use your rent in a year to buy fuel. So what are you saying? That is why I didn't say anything then. Now the man said, if I'm serious about what I said, I should have agreement with you. In that in that situation, what can I do?
So if normally when you're to renovate a property, always document it because you never can tell.
Yes, there's documenting. There's even for the people who work for the what I bought for
No,
the.
not that though. Between you and the landlord.
Okay.
Because if you spend 1 million naira and it's even beyond your rent, and the landlord said he's going to, he doesn't have intention of renewing your rent, that's the end. And if you destroy his property, he can sue you.
Again,
Yes,
like removing what I.
and destroys his the what's it called, the structure of his property. He can sue you for that.
Oh wow.
So that's why it's always best to have it documented.
Mhm.
For instances where it is not documented, there's WhatsApp. You send a chat, send those receipts to him, make him acknowledge that okay, indeed, this
Yeah.
and this and this is
Okay, we
what
can
I
use that one
spent,
to
and
do.
he's well aware that this is what you spent and this is how he intends to pay you back.
Oh.
So if you have that, you can now go to court and say, oh, even though we don't have written agreement because you refuse to sign it, this is our WhatsApp chat. This is how I've updated him on all the expenses I made regarding this property. This is him acknowledging that this is how he's going to pay me back for renovating it. But if you don't have that,
It's nothing. You're
there's
your
nothing
own.
for you. And if you decide to destroy the property and the landlord is a very stubborn man
Can sue
and
you.
takes you to court, trust me, the courts will even give him damages for destroying his property.
Wow. Okay. So let's assume the landlord says, okay, later maybe he says you can use you can if you are not going to pay for the next one, you can move out. Either you pay or you move out. What do you advise me to do after spending the money and there's no proof, there's nothing like proof or written agreement between us, and landlord said if you can't pay the next rent, you can leave my properties. What you pay for that's expired. What can I do as a tenant?
So normally, if my clients want to renovate a property and maybe it's a business building, what I advise them to do is to pay for 2 or 3 years. Right.
Mm.
The reason why I ask them to pay for 2 or 3 years is that so that they can enjoy that property. And then you don't know the economic situation now and what will happen next year, what will happen in 2 years' time. The landlord may say now that okay, you can deduct it from the next rent, and things now skyrocket beyond.
And change the price.
Exactly. He will not accept that proposal that he had said earlier if there's no written agreement. He would want to collect rent the next year. So, but if you pay him for 2, 3 years, he cannot come back later and say there's an
Mm.
increment or I want you to leave the property or any of those things.
Okay. All right.
However, and like let me go back to the question you asked, right?
What can I do?
What can you do? I think you should just, if you can get your lawyer involved, you get your lawyer. But if you can't, try to have a conversation with your
Landlord.
your landlord because that's the best thing. If you want to stay on that property for a year or two, have a conversation with him. If it means that okay, you spread the payments and he's going to give you a discounted rate, since he's saying that you should leave the property, it's reasonable. He may give you a discount or ask you to stay beyond the 1 year period. But just have that at the back of your mind that if you don't accept more than 1 year, just immediately pay for it. Because if you can afford to renovate a property, you can also afford to pay an
Pay.
extra year or two.
Mm. Always have written agreement.
Yeah.
If not, you pay it. This way, what is the biggest mistake you've seen people do with money or make with money?
Hmm. So the biggest mistake when it comes to law that people have made with money is, let's say you have investors that are ready to invest in your business. Say Mascotech now has investors that are ready to invest say $100,000 in this business. You want to expand it beyond what it is right now
Mm.
and make it the best photography studio in Ilorin. At that point, right, if you don't have proper corporate governance structure, you are going to mismanage
Say it again,
that
please.
money. Proper structured corporate governance. No, proper corporate governance structure.
Okay.
What that means is that you are looking at you are for someone to invest $100,000 in your business, the person is already seen it as a global
Yes.
brand. It's no longer going to be
Local.
Ilorin alone.
Yes.
So you as the founder of that business, what you should do is that you bring people who have blown. What I mean by blown is that they've done your kind of
Yeah,
business.
they make the name.
They've made the name and the business is still running and sustaining itself even when they are not around.
Okay.
You appoint them as directors. You
Okay.
don't have to have them on CAC as directors yet if you don't want them to have any
Full
full
access to the
exactly.
business.
Just have them. So those people will be advisors to you. They will advise you
Mm.
on whatever step you want to make. It's always advised that you guys have a meeting once a month, twice a month to talk on how you intend to move that business beyond the way it is right now to the level you want it to be. So those people will be more like your advisors and they would have voting rights. So what that means is that if you want to make a decision on your business,
Fantastic.
every other person in that board can decide.
No.
So, and whatever they decide is what you'll be bound by, even though you are the founder of that business.
Mm.
Because all of them will be working in the best interest of the company.
Okay.
You understand? So, most times, all these big brands you see outside, for them to have like a business that is sustainable beyond the shores of Ilorin and all that, it's because it's because of that good corporate governance structure. People who can advise them that don't do this. I've done this thing I did this thing 2 3 years ago and this is what happened.
Mm. From
This is how I
experience.
think you should go about it. You understand? But the only thing that those people will collect is sitting allowance from you.
Oh,
Maybe
sitting
50,
around
30,
for
50,000,
for each
100,000
month,
for
sorry.
each meeting.
Meeting. Okay.
Each meeting. They don't have any other interest in that company aside from that sitting allowance, except when you decide to appoint them and include them as one of your shareholders in your company.
Okay. 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 So we trust each other is not enough. We need to go with legal actions, involve lawyer, and do documentation of everything you want to do as far as
Yeah.
business is concerned. All right. So here we want to go for this hard truth. Um, it's not about ignorance. Is ignorance really an excuse? Like I don't know that law says this, and unfortunately, you already entered the. Is it an excuse for young Nigerians or a business person or
It's
anything?
not to, it's not to,
So that I don't know about what law says about something, I just did it and boom.
it's not. It's just like when we started talking, I talk about the no refund policy. As
Yeah,
a
yeah,
business
yeah.
person, if you tell me that I don't know that it's illegal to say you
No
cannot
refund
refund
policy.
my money because the goods is effective. It's illegal, it's illegal. You can't come under the ignorance of the law. Like they say, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So once something is illegal, you cannot say you don't have knowledge of it. You can be penalized for it. You can go to jail for it
Ah,
if there are instances that you need to go to jail, and you can be sanctioned for it
so
as
that's
well.
the danger of not knowing the right,
That's the danger of not knowing
the law.
the law.
I want to ask about can police slap you?
No, police don't have a right to slap you. They can't slap you, but at the same time, you also cannot touch a police officer.
Okay.
Right. So if your right has been assaulted, or sorry, if your right has been violated by the police officer, because slapping you is a violation of your rights, because
Okay.
they cannot, nobody should lay hands on you as a human being, right? Only your parents, because we are in Nigeria and they can beat you at any time. But like I said, police officers don't have a right to slap you or beat you. Right? But instances where they beat you, you cannot say, because the police officer slap you, you want to slap your own back, right? Because they are, if, especially when they're on their uniform. If they are not on their uniform, it's going to be like two fighting and all of that. But if they have that uniform on, you cannot touch a police officer. What I would advise any young Nigerian or a Nigerian to do is to, like I advised the earlier time, just know the person that
Record
is involved,
pictures and all the name.
exactly, recording pictures and the name tag,
Hmm.
right? And if you know the station that police officer is situated at, you can also write a letter attaching all these things, including the evidence. Just leave it to the police. So they have like a disciplinary committee within the police that will discipline the officer. So if you are not now satisfied with the actions taken by the police, you can now take him to court for
Okay.
violation of your rights.
Okay.
Right. But you cannot, especially when the police officer is on his uniform, say you want to slap him back. What you should do is to take appropriate action to discipline that police officer.
Okay. So it's legal to take picture of the police officer. It's
Yes.
legal to record them while they
Yes.
are doing their things, and you have their pictures and all like that. What if the situation whereby they ask you not to record them, and you know they are harms. So
And that's the problem. So normally you have a right to record them, right? Because if they are doing illegal acts, they are performing their normal duty. You as a citizen, so as a vigilant citizen, can also say, I want to record what exactly is happening and how they are, what's it called,
doing
carrying
their
out their
work.
function.
Okay.
But instances where they insist that you should not record them and all of that, if you have someone close to you that have a phone to, he
Unknowingly.
can stylishly record them, right?
Hmm.
But if you don't have anybody, you could just respect them. You can use other means to know that police officer. And why I advise that you don't drag with police officers, because these people can be reckless.
Yeah, and their
They
harms.
can shoot you. Then there was a lawyer that was killed 2 or 3 years ago, on 31st of December, 2 or 3 years ago, if I'm
Wow.
correct. And the reason why was because the woman was dragging with them, trying to quote law. I know these police officers, when they are drunk, they don't hear all these things. They ended up killing that woman, right?
Jesus.
But that police officer was sentenced to death. But it's still not enough compensation to
For
the
the
husband and the
family.
children and the family for what was done. So that's why I always advise that as citizens, Nigerian citizens, don't argue with them, right? Just make sure that you are vigilant, you know the name tag, you know the face, if you possible, where the police station of where he's working, the police station he was assigned to. So if you know all these things, just allow him do all the rubbish he wants to do. You have your own way of getting back to that police officer.
Can someone get arrested without a warrant?
Yes, yes, you can get arrested without getting a warrant. There are instances where you can get arrested, you can get arrested. If you are committing a crime in front of a police officer, it doesn't need a warrant to arrest you.
If you're communicating,
Committing that crime in front of that police officer, maybe you are stealing something in front of him,
okay.
he would arrest you now. It doesn't need a warrant. And if it is reasonably expected that for a warrant, it takes time before he gets it. And before going back and coming back, he cannot effect the arrest.
Yeah.
Instances like that, so he can arrest you. Then, when you are in the police custody, whatever demands you're asking for, he will provide it. So it's an apprehension of fear that, if I wait for warrants, I can't get this guy arrested. The police officer can arrest you.
Okay. If you advise people watching this right now, if you advise them, what will you want them to remember always in this show?
In this show. Um, they should remember that ignorance of the law is not an excuse. That's one. Two, they should also, as a Nigerian, you should have a lawyer friend. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you are paying that person full time, but just have someone that is on speed dial that is a lawyer, because you never can tell what will happen. And it doesn't have to be crime. You may want to even buy a property and you have this money people or someone that is trying to dupe you. If you don't have a lawyer close by, you just go there to buy it. You've bought a fake property, right? And the other things you may, okay, should I say this? Let me say it. You may want to scatter your marriage with your wife too.
Okay,
You will
divorce.
need
Lawyer.
a lawyer to
Okay,
scatter the
wait,
marriage.
oh. You people are very, very expensive. Oh. Now, to get a lawyer, will it be? I want to know. I'm curious. Hey, let me just use baby stuff.
Yes,
I'm curious that I'm asking this. Okay, for example, I want to get a lawyer for my brand,
yes.
and I don't really, I'm not a really big brand like that or something like that. To put my lawyer on a steady
Payroll.
payroll, like that. So, how can you advise me to go about it, or as an individual, or as a business owner starting up? And because you said now, like, it's very, very important for you to have a lawyer as a standby that you can call at any time and he will answer. And for someone to just pick a call and legally, and because it's a that's a is it's all a professional job.
Yeah.
So you got to be on steady for him, probably paying. Is it monthly or you got to compensate the lawyer
Eh,
now?
well,
So how can we go about it as a young
so
Nigerian?
as a young Nigerian, right? There are ways you can pay a lawyer, right? There's one that you can. There's something they call retainer.
Okay,
That one you can pay once a year,
okay,
once, twice, or twice a year. That's every 6 months. Or you can pay per transaction
okay.
or per any event. So if it's that you want to scatter your marriage with your wife, you can pay for that.
You don't use me. I don't want to use me.
Okay. Let me know. Is that let's say you want to buy a property at
Mm-hmm.
GRE,
Now,
you can just pay for that transaction. So whatever events that is happening that you need a lawyer for, you can pay per what's it called, per event or transaction. That can happen. And if you know that you're always having one thing or the other, let me not call it issues, because it could be you want to buy properties, you want to expand your business and all of that, and you need a lawyer on standby. What I would generally advise is that you have a retainer with that lawyer. Say, okay, I'll pay you 5 million, I'll pay you 3 million, I'll pay you 2 million, pay you 1 million. It just depends on the negotiation that
deal
goes
and
in
all
between
like
the
that.
both of you. And that lawyer already knows that, okay, this client I have, I know for a fact that I will be having several work from him. So I have to make time for that person since he has already paid me for the service I intend to render. You understand? So, and then lawyers too, we have, let me not use the word, can I use the word foresight? Let me use the word foresight, because for business owners too, right? We know for a fact that for some business owners, it's not easy for them to pay that money at once, right?
Mm-hmm.
We always try to give discounted price, because if the business grows beyond the level it is right now, that person will not pay me what is currently paying me. You understand? So again, depends on the discussion you have
With a lawyer.
with the lawyer.
Okay, for example, for a properties that someone buy, okay, I got a properties and I want to do my papers and all like that and all like that. Is there a particular limit that this is the percent a lawyer should get, whether you know or you don't know? That just the basic, or it just depends on the deals, or depends on the
Normally it's 10% now, but
okay,
again, it depends on the amount for that transaction. So a lawyer will not charge based on our, what's it called, scale of charge. A lawyer cannot charge 10% for a property worth 1 billion naira,
okay,
because we're expected to charge maybe 5% or 6%.
okay,
But let's say a property is worth 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, is supposed to charge 10% in those
okay,
instances.
okay. The higher the deal,
Yeah, the
the
other
lawyer,
another thing that depends on the state as well.
okay,
So in Lagos now, the money I'll charge in Lagos is different from the money I'll
yeah,
charge when I'm in Ilorin.
that's for every
Because
business owner. Yes.
you people are too stingy, you will not pay.
For where you know, have it.
You know that. Jesus, people are too stingy, you guys will not pay. But
This is going around. You know, people are stingy. You people are hearing that too.
I did not say that.
I did not say that.
I've withdrawn
But
my
yes.
statement.
Okay,
Oh, God.
okay. Can people be sued on a WhatsApp post?
Yes, now. I think there was a guy recently that a girl accused of rape
Yeah,
that she
yeah.
posted online on WhatsApp and all of that. So if the guy wanted to take it up and sue her, even though he was charging, I think he was charging 10 million or there about then.
Jesus.
That the girl had to beg, her family had to come and beg as well. So yes, you can be sued for a WhatsApp post.
Mm. Thank you for having us and thank you for your time. Thank you for your
You're welcome.
sincere answer to all our questions. Really appreciate it. Please, if we want you to host you again in our channel here, hope we will still have the access.
If you guys will pay my professional fee, I'll come.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're working towards that because
Anyways,
we are
I'm
here.
just joking.
Yeah,
You're my guy now.
yeah.
After 14 years, obviously, I'll come.
Yes.
Anytime I'm in Lauren, I'll definitely.
No problem, no problem, no problem. So the truth is here now. You can't say that you don't know. For that word alone, you can be sued and be arrested for you don't know. So it's better for you to be aware before you do something. Get a documentation, written agreement between the two people before you go into business with them. And please be careful what you say online. Be careful how to talk to people. Be careful what you say in every area you are. You can be sued. You can be prosecuted for that. You can go to jail or penalized for that. So until the next time we see you on Beyond the Frame by MS, my name is still remain Mayowa, your host. See you on the next one. Thank you.